welcome back our dear viewers. During his speech before the World Youth Forum on its fourth edition in the Red Sea Resort of Sharm el-Sheikh, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi declared the year 2022 as the year of civil society in Egypt. During his speech at the closing ceremony of the fourth edition of the World Youth Forum, President Sisi directed the forum management and concerned institutions to establish a dialogue platform between the state, the youth, and local as well as international civil society organizations. In September, during the launch of Egypt's National Strategy for Human Rights, the President declared 2022 the year of civil society. To shed more light on that very important issue, we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Ambassador Bayoumi, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Ambassador Bayoumi, would you like to elaborate to us about the role of the civil society institutions in the development of the different communities?
Very important, because since decades we are after the human rights in general. And here we are taking care of the youth dimension and the right of in development also.
Yes.
So it is a sort of many circles we are treating. It is a sort that we are fighting on different fronts. This is one very important dimension of our foreign policy and our internal policy, of course. My opinion is that we are, of course, pleased to do whatever it takes to make our youth in a better situation, to make our human rights situation much better, for the sake of Egyptians, not to please anybody else. And a couple of days our president was mentioning that there is a difference between cultures and civilization.
Yes.
And we have to understand this, and we have, or we expect our partners all over the world to understand the particularity of our culture, that of course there are many factors which are common anywhere in the world, but also there are other facts that are different from one country to another, from one civilization to another. But I think always that taking care of the young generation is a sort of investment for the future. Those are our future, those who will be taking care of us when we are getting old and not be able to take care of ourselves. Those are our young generation who is going to take the leadership and take the position of producers and take the responsibility of the economic growth and the social growth also. So very important practice, very important dimension of our economic reform and our reform in general in all dimensions.
Indeed. Ambassador Bayoumi, what does the President's here announcement that 2022 is the year of civil society organization mean here?
It is a sort that you are tackling the subject from all its dimensions. And of course, this is one of our efforts in order to make sure that we are in good command of what we are doing. And of course, we are here requesting the cooperation and exchange of experience between Egyptians, especially young generation, with their counterparts all over the world. And really, I'm so glad that we have this, the last conference of youth of the world, where we have more than 190 countries there. Of course, this will help our foreign policy to be well known from the future leaders of the world. And I must tell you, really, in my life as a diplomat, I met many people all over the world who either visited Egypt, who or were educated in Egypt or trained in Egypt. And this makes our life easier. It makes our relations much stronger and much understandable to other cultures and other countries.
Indeed. Mr. Ambassador, how do civil society organizations, in cooperation with the relevant state agencies, contribute in order to achieve the societal advancement?
Of course, the civil society is a sort of freelancer. They can do what governments cannot do, really. More practical, more personal, and they have their own views where we can make use of it. I think just this morning I read that our embassy in Belgrade, for instance, is preparing for 4 concerts of one young Egyptian playing piano. This is much more important that I go to lectures 10 times.
Yes.
To give a sample of your culture, to exchange views between one young gentleman and another. Also, we have a lot to learn from others. We are not just teaching others. No, we are receptive to other ideas. We are receptive to other experiences, which make us in a better situation and in a better position in order to make our life much better.
Yes, indeed. Sir, how can a culture here of volunteerism be prompted in a society?
The culture they mentioned is very important, and really, if we travel, if we go either as a short period in a country or going as a diplomat to stay in a country, the first task is to study the culture of other countries, because there are some dimension of the culture which sometimes you have to understand, otherwise you wouldn't be happy here and there. It comes to me now, I am going to laugh in one of my experiences. I was telling the Minister of Foreign Affairs in one country a sort of an Egyptian joke, which really we all laugh about it. And I realized he said, ha, ha, ha. And he made me realize that this is not a joke in his country, because the culture is different. Anyway, very important before I talk to somebody, of course, I choose a language, a common language between us. If he talks English, it doesn't make any use if I speak Spanish. So it looks like the language. Understanding the culture, it looks like understanding which language you are going to use in order to communicate with other people and other cultures.
Yes, indeed. Mr. Ambassador, what are some of the issues that the President here said should be enhanced by the civil society institutions, such as education or healthcare services?
Of course, the first thing come to mind that exchange of experience is one very important point. Of course, we are hosting in Egypt, and we are happy about that, thousands of young generation from the Arab world, from Africa, from all over the world, especially in Al-Azhar Sharif, to study Islamic Sharia. And also we are sending envoys all over the world. We are proud that Egypt is represented by 11 million Egyptians working all over the world, in the Americas, in Australia, in Canada, in Asia and Africa. And of course, this is our army, where really they go, they give the experience, and they come back to their own country with a huge experience, not only in the field of culture and education, but also in the field of economy and banking system and all those technical things, such as engineering problems, high dams, electricity. And I'm glad to notice that many Egyptians who are working abroad became highly experienced in many fields, and they come here as consultants to their own country from now and then. And we are proud of them, of course, and such practice is very important for both Egypt and its partners.
Yes. Finally, also the President directed the World Youth Forum Management to activate its initiative to establish a business incubator for startups and small industries in according to the cabinet arrangement and concerned institutions, as well as that would include the private sector, international organization and development partners. What's your take on that, Mr. Ambassador?
Here you have plenty of ideas and plenty of good ideas. And now, in order to reach a story of success, you have to manage how you are going to implement your ideas, how you are going to implement any projects you are thinking about. Here you are using your international relations. I'm talking here about the UN system, whether it is the United Nations itself, or its organization in the economic field, in the cultural field. UNESCO is doing a fine job, and so on. Also on the regional level, we have many organizations within the Arab League, within the African Union, who can cooperate with us. And we are happy that we have plenty of Egyptians working on many international organizations and regional ones. And still we can, through them, penetrate the ideas and the heads of other partners in order to make ourselves feel. And here you are managing what you are thinking about doing, and it ends with, or always with, happy endings and good results.
Indeed. Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Always a pleasure, sir, to listen to your precious input. Have a lovely day. And with that, our dear viewers, we come to the end of this edition of our program, The Breakfast Show on ITV International, brought to you live by my dear colleague Mohammed Abdirrahim and myself, Maïsti Rabia. Till tomorrow with another quiz. Goodbye and have a lovely day.